Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club and welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're continuing with episode 2 of the playthrough of A Touch of Evil 10-year anniversary edition against the Bog Fiend. So far we've managed to keep the shadow track from moving very much. We're at 19 right now, so that's good, but as any player of this game knows, things can turn south very fast. And you get a cascade of events that will happen, and pretty soon that track will be down to stage 3. We'll be starting turn 4, and the first player is going to be Katerina the Outlaw. She's currently on a road space west of Smuggler's Cove. Okay, we'll begin with her movement roll. She rolls a 1. Okay, she's got 1 movement point. That's going to allow her to draw an event card. Okay, she draws the event card Tactical Strike, Event Cunning. Play on any hero, including yourself, to allow them to add their cunning to their combat for 1 fight round. Okay. Now she only has 1 movement point. Now she has 3 wounds on her. So I think what I'll do is I'll return to the Smuggler's Cove. And before she encounters the space, we're going to do some healing. She's going to spend 6 investigation, and we're going to heal 2 wounds. It's kind of expensive, but this will get her down to at least 1 wound. And now we'll encounter Smuggler's Cove. And she draws a card, Attacked. Fight. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. Okay. And the flavor text reads, "Souls lost to the sea are forever restless." Okay, we got to make a roll on the Bog Fiend's minion chart and work out the result. Now, even though this says attacked, we work out the result. It might not be a combat. It could be an event. That's always a possibility. Okay, here is the roll. And she rolls a 1, and that's carried off in the night. An event. And that reads, the first player must immediately choose any one ally in play, including any unsold town item allies, to be carried off into the night, removed from the game. If there are no allies in play, instead choose any town elder to be killed by the villain. Shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness, and every hero will gain 2 investigation. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to choose the town ally, Captain of the Watch, and he is going to be carried off now. So he is out of the game. And the shadow track is going to move a step towards darkness. So the shadow track moves to 18, and all of the heroes are going to gain 2 investigation. And now, since she's encountered the space, we're going to attempt to do a little research with this research token. She's going to spend 1 investigation, and she's going to be able to make a combined cunning and honor test. And if she can get 2 6s or more, we can turn that token over and find out what we get. So she has a honor of 5 and a cunning of 3. She'll be rolling 8 dice for the test. Okay, and here's the roll. And she's done that easily. She's got a total of 3 successes. So we'll turn that token over and find out what it is. And that is number 3. Let's check our chart and see what number 3 is. In number 3 on the Bog Fiend chart is Rote Known. Your research leads you to a nearby Indian camp and to an old medicine man. He tells you of a powerful powder made of the roots of local plants called Rote Known. It's been used by Native Americans to paralyze aquatic creatures such as fish and eels. Rote Known can only be used once, and it is discarded. It can only be used at the start of a showdown. It reduces the Bog Fiend's combat by 1 for the entire showdown. If the Bog Fiend survives the showdown, its combat level returns to its normal value. All right. So she is going to gain Rote Known, and we'll add that to her display. Now that is considered to be an item. It has no carrying capacity on it, but it can be lost if, say for an example, she gets KO'd and you have to roll to find out how much items or investigation you lose, that could be subject to that. So we'll place that on her card. That's pretty good. And that's going to complete her turn. We'll move on to Captain Hawkins, and he's currently at the Old Woods. So Captain Hawkins will roll for movement. And he rolls a 6, and he has a horse that'll give him a total of 7 movement points. So let's see what we want to do with him. And I think Captain Hawkins will move back to the abandoned keep. So we'll have him move 1, 2, 3, and 4 back to the abandoned keep. And he's going to encounter the space. We'll see what he finds. And he draws the card, Crypt Lantern, item fire. Once per game round, you may re-roll any single die you just rolled. That's pretty good. Flavor text reads, this should shed a little more of light on things. All right, we'll add that to his tableau. That'll complete his turn, and we'll move on to Brother Marcus. He is at the North Dock. And we'll have Brother Marcus roll for movement. He rolls a 5. Okay. I think Brother Marcus will take a boat, and he's going to cross the Echo Lake for 3 movement points, and he'll move to the South Dock. He's going to collect the 2 investigation that are there, and then he's going to encounter the space. I think before he encounters the space, he's going to spend 2 investigation, and we're going to use his Strength of Spirit ability and attempt to cancel that Order's Influence card that is on Dr. Manning. We need to roll a 4 or greater to accomplish that, so let's see if we can do it. That's a cocked die. And he's done it, so we can get rid of that Order's Influence. That's great. So the Order's Influence card is going to be discarded. That is awesome. That is such a powerful ability for Brother Marcus. Now he's going to encounter the South Dock. We're going to have to roll a die and see what happens. We need a 3 or better for an event card. And he rolls a 2. That means we've got to draw a mystery card. Uh-oh. And he draws the card Late Night Experiments, Mystery Death. If Dr. Manning is still alive, roll a d6 for every ally and animal item currently in play, including unsold town items. On a roll of 5+, remove it from the game. Oh boy. And the flavor text reads, "Don't worry, it will be quick and painless." Oh boy. All right, I'm going to make those rolls off camera. So we're going to have to roll for all of our allies and animals in play. And on that roll of 5 or greater, it's going to be removed from the game. Oh boy. I'll let you know what happens. Well, the results of those rolls aren't very good. Captain Hawkins's horse is missing. And Brother Marcus's guide also went missing, so it looks like the good doctor has been doing some late night experiments. Okay, those cards are discarded from the game, and that's going to complete Brother Marcus's turn. We'll move on to Carl the soldier. He's at the windmill. Okay, Carl will make a roll for movement. He has a horse, so he'll be gaining +1 to the move. Rolls a 6, and that's modified to a 7. Let's see where we're going to move Carl to. Well, I think Carl's going to try the manor, so we'll move him to the manor. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and he'll encounter the space at the manor. And he draws the card, Attacked. Fight. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. Flavor text reads, "Perhaps we're getting too close." So we'll make a roll on the minion chart and see what's happening. Roll is a 6, and that's the Bog Fiend attacks. The villain attacks. The hero must immediately resolve a single fight round with the villain. Instead of causing wounds, each hit done to the villain gains 1 investigation for the hero. This does not count as a showdown. If there are no heroes in the space, instead place 2 investigation at the location, and the shadow track moves a step closer to darkness. This activates the Bog Fiend's Trail of Slime ability in the location. All right. So the Bog Fiend will attack. He has a combat value of 9. Carl has a combat value of 4. All right. We'll make the roll for the Bog Fiend, 9 dice. Okay, we got 1 cocked die. And the Bog Fiend ends up with getting 4 total hits on Carl. Let's see if we can have any type of card to help mitigate that. We don't. Carl has the veteran ability, which says we can ignore the first hit during a fight round, so that would take one of those out. Carl would end up taking 3 wounds from that. All right. So we'll give Carl 3 wounds, and now he gets to roll his attack on the Bog Fiend. Okay, I'm having a little problem with my camera. I had to switch to my 50mm lens, so I'll see if this continues to work or not. We're going to roll 4 dice for Carl the Soldier, and we'll see what he gets. Okay, he has 1 hit, so that's going to award him 1 investigation token. Give him that, and then the Bog Fiend is going to retreat to the nearest marsh space, and that's when his Trail of Slime ability will kick in. So the Trail of Slime will lead from the space where that encounter took place to the nearest swamp space, and we're going to place 1 investigation on that trail to each space that he would have traveled. And that's that slime he's leaving behind. So all of those points now have investigation on them. So that's going to end the turn for Carl. He's got 3 wounds now, and that's not too good. In fact, that KOs him. Oh boy, wait a minute. Yeah, that is going to KO Carl. Those 3 wounds are going to KO him. All right, so he's KO'd, and he's got 3 wounds, and he's going to have to make a roll now to see how much investigation and or items and allies he has to surrender. He rolled a 4, so he's going to have to give up 3 investigation. And his horse, he's got healing herbs and a horse. Those are the 2 items that he has. We can't use the healing herbs, I don't think. Let's take a closer look at that. Yeah, the healing herbs card says discard at any time except during a fight to heal 2 wounds. No, he won't be able to use that. So I guess we will discard this. He'll keep the horse, and then he's going to be carried back to the town hall for convalescing. So that's what's going to happen. So that's going to end Carl's activation. We'll have to move on now to the mystery phase. Okay, our first actionable step in the mystery phase is KO'd Heroes Revive. So Carl is going to stand up at town hall, and he's fully healed. Next step is to roll on the cooperative mystery phase chart. So we'll make a 2d6 roll and see what's happening this time. We rolled a 5, and that's Darkness Falls. The shadow track immediately moves D3 steps closer to darkness. The heroes may collectively take 5 wounds, divided as they see fit to prevent this. No hero can take more wounds than they have health boxes. Well, I think we'll just make the D3 roll and see what happens. Okay, we'll make a D3 roll and see what we get. And the roll's a 3. So, if we take 5 collective wounds, we can prevent that from happening. And I'm going to reread that real quick and make sure I'm doing that correctly. Yeah, we can prevent that by each of them, or taking a collective total of 5 wounds. So I think we'll do that, and I'll start out by giving each of them one wound. Okay, that gives Katarina with 2 and everybody else with 1. We have to put 1 more wound down, and I guess I'll give that to Brother Marcus. He has 4 wound boxes, so we'll give him the second. So he's got 2, Katarina's got 2, and Carl and Captain Hawkins each have 1. And we don't have to move the shadow track up any. So I think that's a good maneuver. Next up, we have to draw a mystery card. And that card is revealed the Order's Influence, Mystery Conspiracy. Play this card on Lady Hanbrook. While she is alive, any hero ending their movement in a corner location must roll a d6. On a roll of 1 or 2, they are attacked by the Order of the Crimson Hand. If she is dead or joined the villain, discard and move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. And that remains in play. And that says, power to the hand, she high. Okay, we'll play that on Lady Hanbrook. We got to get rid of that. And that is going to complete the turn. We'll move our first player marker from Katarina to Captain Hawkins. All right, Captain Hawkins is up for the next turn. He's got 1 wound with 3 investigation. And he's carrying the Crypt Lantern. He is currently at the abandoned keep. So until we can get rid of that Order of Influence, the Order's Influence card on Lady Hanbrook, if we end our move on a corner location, we're risking being attacked by the Crimson Hand. Okay, I guess we're going to make a roll for movement for Captain Hawkins, and we'll see what he can do. Okay, he has no horse anymore. His roll is a 5, so he's got 5 movement points. And I think the best thing we can do is have him move to the doctor's office, and he can heal up. So we'll have him move 1, taking the investigation, 2, taking the investigation, and 3, taking the investigation at the doctor's office. All right. So he's going to encounter the space at the doctor's office, and we can draw an event. He draws the event Redemption. Choose an evil elder in play and roll a d6. On a roll of 3+, that evil elder is killed and immediately does 6 fight dice attack against the villain. Or play to discard a little secret on a town elder in your hunting party to gain +3 fight dice for 1 attack. Okay, we'll keep that card for the moment. It might be better used during a showdown, because then we can get that 6 fight dice attack against the villain. All right, now he's going to use the heal ability, and he can heal a wound for 1 investigation. So he'll pay 1 investigation and heal up that wound, and that's going to end Captain Hawkins' turn. We'll move on to Brother Marcus. He's currently at the South Dock. So Brother Marcus will roll for movement. And he rolls a 2. Okay. Well, I think what he's going to do is this. I'll have him move 2 spaces towards the coast board. We'll have him move 1 and 2 onto that road space. And that's going to be it for him. But he's going to try to use his strength of spirit there and try to get rid of that card that is plaguing us with Lady Hanbrook. So he's going to pay 2 investigation, and he's going to use his strength of spirit. And we need to get a result of 4 or greater and get rid of that card at least. I hope we can do it. We rolled a 6. We got it. So we can get rid of the Order's influence that is plaguing us. Those corner locations now aren't going to bother us. That's great. And that's going to bring Brother Marcus's turn to a close, and we will move on to Carl the Soldier. Okay, Carl has 1 wound, and he has a horse, so he'll be adding 1 to his movement roll. He rolls a 5. That'll be modified to a 6. So he has 6 movement points, and we'll see if we can use some of that to pick up some of this investigation. I guess we'll try to head him to the manor. He'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll be able to pick up all of that investigation that is within that path. It's going to move him up to 4 investigation. And I think what he'll do is, before he encounters the space, he's going to pay 3 investigation and heal the wound that he has. And that'll refresh him, and then we'll take our encounter at the manor. Okay, Carl encounters the manor, and he draws Rider's Hat. Item hat. You may now roll an extra die for each move each turn and choose which to use. The Rider's Hat does not count against your carrying limit. The Flavor text reads, "Yes, sir. This hat and I have been through some tough spots, but we always manage to get the job done." Okay, we'll add that to his tableau. And that's going to complete Carl's turn. Our next hero will be Katarina, and she's at Smuggler's Cove. She has 2 wounds on her. All right, Katarina is going to roll for movement. And she rolls a 3. She's got 3 movement points. Okay. All right, I guess Katarina is going to use 2 movement points to move to the shipwreck. And that's where she's going to travel to. And I think before we encounter the space, we're going to spend 3 investigation and heal her of 1 wound. And then we'll take the adventure at the shipwreck. She draws the card, "They come from the sea. Danger investigation. Exploring the lower decks of the decaying wreck. The echoes of the old fishermen in Tidewater ring in your ears with every creak and crack of the broken ship. Make an Honor 5+ test and gain 2 investigation for every 5+ rolled. If the test is failed, search the shipwreck deck and discard pile for the Descendants of the Deep minion card to fight." Oh boy. Well, luckily Katarina has an honor of 5, so let's see if we can make this roll. And here's her roll. All right, she has 1 success, and that's enough for her to earn 2 investigation and prevent that Descendants of the Deep from having to fight them. So she'll gain 2 investigation, moving her up to 3, and that's going to complete her turn. All right, we'll continue on now with the mystery phase. And we'll start with the cooperative mystery phase chart roll. Here we go. The roll is a 7, and that's Surge of Evil. Roll once on the minion chart and work out the result. Okay, we'll make a roll on the minion chart. Result is a 3, and that's Sinking Countryside event. Place 2 investigation and a swamp marker at the hero's location, or at a random location if not triggered by a specific hero. Okay, so it's going to be a random location. And if there's already a swamp marker at the location, we're going to replace it with a sunken marker. Okay, we'll draw a random location and see where that is. It's going to be in the fields. Okay, so let's go there. So we're going to place a swamp marker in the fields and 2 investigation. And those are starting to creep up on the board. We've got 3 of those now. And now we're going to draw our mystery card. And we draw the card Unwelcome, Mystery Hysteria. If Mayor Carver is still alive, every hero must immediately make an Honor 6+ test. If failed, that hero must roll once on the villain's minion chart. Oh boy. All right. Flavor text reads, "We do not take kindly to unwanted groups." Well, Captain Hawkins and Brother Marcus passed their tests, but Carl the Soldier and Katarina did not. So we're going to have to make 2 rolls on the minion chart. And here's the first of the 2 minion chart rolls. We rolled a 3, and that's Sinking Countryside. Place 2 investigation and a swamp marker at the hero's location, or at a random location if not triggered by a specific hero. So we'll draw a layer card and see where it's going to happen at. And that's going to be at the crossroads. Oh boy. So the crossroads is going to gain a swamp and 2 investigation, and then we got to make 1 more roll on the minion chart. And here's the next roll. And once again, it's a 3, and that's another Sinking Countryside. We'll draw a layer card. And it's going in the old woods this time. Oh boy. So that's going to be a swamp marker in the old woods and 2 investigation. All right. So that will complete the turn. We'll move our first player marker from Captain Hawkins to Brother Marcus. And we'll continue with the new round. I'm going to check my lens. I like using my zoom lens, and I think that might be giving me some problems. If not, I'll have to switch back to this 50mm lens till I can figure out what's happening. All right, so we'll start with Brother Marcus. He's on the road space heading into Tidewater. I'm trying to get him to the beach where he can maybe get some healing from the widow's cottage. So we'll see what happens. Here is the roll. And he rolls a 3, so he's got enough movement to get there. And I think that's what he'll do. He'll move one space into the beach. And then we are going to encounter the space. Now, when we're in the Tidewater area, we have to draw a village encounter card before we can encounter the space, so we'll do that. And he finds the Founder's Journal, Village Encounter Item Book. Counts as a coastal town item. +1 to honor, spirit, and cunning. Discard to cancel and redraw any card just drawn. That is an outstanding find for Brother Marcus. We'll take it. Now he's going to encounter the space, and at the widow's cottage he can heal 1 wound or cure a curse on a die roll of 5 or 6. We'll have him heal the wound. That'll remove him down to 1 wound. And that Founder's Journal was an outstanding find. That is great. Brother Marcus has 3 investigation, so we'll keep that. We'll move on to Carl the Soldier. He is at the manor. Okay, Carl the Soldier is up now. He's got the rider's hat. That allows him to roll an extra die for movement, and he can choose which one to use. So we'll roll 2 dice for him. And both of them are 3, so either way he's got a 3. And he still has a horse, so that will increase his movement up to 4. So he's got 4 movement points. And let's see what we can do with 4 movement points for Carl. And he has 1 investigation, so he needs to get some investigation, that's for sure. Let's see here. He has no wounds. So I think what he'll do is he'll head to the windmill. I'll have him move 1, 2, picking up 1 investigation there for himself, and 3, 4 at the windmill. And we'll have him do an encounter at the windmill. All right, Carl is investigating at the windmill. He draws the card Black Feather, Investigation. Climbing to the loft of the old windmill, you find a single black feather on the wooden floor. It is a quill etched with runic markings and dripping red. Make a Spirit 4+ test and gain 1 investigation for each 4+ rolled. Okay, Carl isn't too skilled at Spirit, but he has a Spirit of 2. He'll roll 2 dice. And he rolls 2 5s, so he's going to gain 2 investigation. That is great. We'll give him 2 investigation, and that's going to bring Carl's turn to a close. We'll move on to Katerina. She's at the shipwreck. All right, Katerina is at the shipwreck, and she's going to roll for movement. She rolls a 6. Okay, well, I think we're going to head her over to the lighthouse. So she's going to move 2 movement points into the icy waters, gaining a investigation, and another 2 to get to the lighthouse. And we'll see what's happening there. She draws the card Harpoon, item, hand weapon, +1 to cunning. Discard during a fight to immediately inflict an extra 4 fight dice attack against your opponent, or 8 fight dice if you are fighting a beast. Well, that is going to be very handy because the Bog Fiend is a beast. That is outstanding. All right, that is going to complete Katerina's activation. You know, I'm wondering, maybe I should do it. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 3 investigation, and she's going to use a heal to heal that wound. I don't want to be KO'd with that harpoon. So we'll do it that way. That'll heal the wound that she has, and right now she has no wounds. The only wounded character is Brother Marcus. He has 1 wound. Everybody else is at full strength. Okay, we'll move on to Captain Hawkins. He is at the doctor's office. Okay, Captain Hawkins will roll for movement. He rolls a 4, so he's got 4 movement points, and I think we're going to send him to the old woods if he can reach there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could pick up 1 investigation that way. Well, I think we'll send him to the abandoned keep. We'll do that. 1, 2, 3. Now, Captain Hawkins already has an abandoned keep card, so that might not be the best. I guess we'll do it this way. 1, 2, 3, picking up the investigation, and 4 to a road space. And we'll do it that way. That's going to bring Captain Hawkins' turn to a close. We'll move on to the mystery phase. And we'll start out with our cooperative mystery phase roll. Let's see what we get. The roll is a 10, and that's ambush in the night. Every hero must roll a d6 and add their cunning. Whoever has the lowest result is immediately attacked by one of the villain's minions. Roll if tied. Roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any event or minion that has no fight dice. During the first fight round, the hero may not use items, allies, or abilities, and the minion has double their normal fight dice. Okay. All right, I'm going to make those rolls off camera. We'll find out who the target is, and it's going to be a mosquito swarm. That's the only minion on the Bog Fiend's chart. The other ones are events. Well, the target of the mosquito swarm is Katarina at the lighthouse. All right, the mosquito swarm attacks with 2 fight dice, and it has 2 wounds. Now it also says here, when a mosquito swarm is rolled, place a mosquito swarm at an additional random location. So we'll draw a random card, and we're going to be placing it at the manor. There's no one at the manor right now. So I've placed a mosquito swarm at the manor, and now we'll have to fight this. Now, heroes must use cunning instead of combat during the fight. For every hit done by the mosquito swarm, the hero must also lose 1 investigation in addition to taking a wound. It gains +2 fight dice while in a swamp space. Okay, so that means that the mosquito swarm will be rolling a total of 2 dice, and we're going to be rolling a total of 3 dice, which is Katarina's cunning value. Now she also gains +1 because she has that harpoon, so we'll gain +1 for that. So she's going to gain, has a total now of 4 fight dice. All right, we'll see what happens. Here's the first round of combat. We can't use any items or allies, so she's only going to be able to roll 3. That's right. Okay, here we go. And she has rolled a total of 3 hits, and that's enough to take out the mosquito swarm. Now the mosquito swarm did 1 hit to her, so she's going to take a wound, and she has to lose 1 investigation on top of that. So we'll have to sacrifice 1 investigation. The mosquito swarm is gone, and we're going to gain 3 investigation for defeating the mosquito swarm. So she'll gain 3. These items are lost. Mosquito swarm is gone, and that's pretty good. And now we have to draw a mystery card. That card is revealed to be Paranoid Delusions Mystery Hysteria. If Lord Hanbrook is still alive, every hero must make an Honor 6+ test. If failed, they will take D3 wounds. And the flavor text reads, "Get back. You're in league with the devil. You can't fool us. I can smell the evil." All right, I'll make those rolls off camera, and we'll find out what happens. All right, the results of that card were not good. Captain Hawkins was KO'd, taken back to the town hall, and he ended up losing 4 investigation during his recovery. Brother Marcus was also attacked. He took 1 wound. Carl the soldier was attacked. He took 1 wound. And Katarina she passed her roll. So that is going to complete the round. We'll move our first player marker to Carl the soldier, and that's going to complete the turn. Now, as Captain Hawkins was KO'd during the mystery phase, he won't be able to recover until the next mystery phase, so he's going to be down for the count at the town hall. Well, I discovered a few corrections I need to make. This first one was a mystery card called Unwelcome, and it says if Mayor Carver is still alive. He's been converted over and joined the villain. So instead, we need to move the shadow track 2 steps closer to darkness. I ended up using the top half of that, which was incorrect. We ended up placing swamp markers in the crossroads and at the old woods. So those are going to be removed along with the tokens that were placed there. And we're going to move the shadow track up 2 steps. So the shadow track is going to move up to 16. That's going to give the villain a +2 health marker. And then once we cross into a new stage of that track, the Bog Fiend's Bog Stink ability is going to kick in. And that means we're going to reshuffle the layer deck, and then we have to undertake the Sinking Countryside event from the Bog Fiend's minion chart. So we're going to draw a layer card and place a swamp marker in that location. And in this case, it is going to be placed at the stone bridge. So the stone bridge will now be a swamp, and 2 investigation will be placed there. Okay, that covers that problem. I also had one other problem, and that was when we had the battle with the mosquito swarm at the lighthouse with Katarina. In that fight, the mosquito swarm should have been at double its normal fight dice for the first round. So I only rolled 2 fight dice, so we'll have to roll 2 additional ones against Katarina. The battle was still resolved correctly. She defeated them, but she might take some extra wounds, so we'll make the roll. And yes, they did get 1 extra hit on her, so we'll mark Katarina with 1 wound. And that'll complete the corrections, and we'll continue on with the game. Our first player is going to be Carl. Carl the soldier has 1 wound and 4 investigation, a horse, rider's hat, and he has the vet card Entourage. Carl is currently at the windmill. Okay, we'll make a roll for Carl. He has the rider's hat. He'll be rolling 2 dice for movement and choosing the one he wants to use. All right, he's got a 6, so we'll use that. And combined with his horse, that means he has 7 movement points. And I think Carl's going to make his way to the doctor's office. He'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the doctor's office. He's going to encounter the space, and he will do so by drawing an event card. And he draws the card Duck and Roll. Play at any time to prevent up to 2 wounds to any hero, including yourself. Or play to cancel a roll on any chart and re-roll. That's a good card. We'll take it. Now Carl's going to use the heal ability at the doctor's office, and he's going to pay 1 investigation to heal a wound. And that will clear him of any wounds. That's going to end Carl's turn. We'll move on to Katarina at the lighthouse. All right, Katarina has 1 wound and 3 investigation. She has that valuable harpoon, and she's got that research rotenone. And we'll have Katarina roll for movement. She rolls a 5. Okay, she's got 5 movement points. Let's see what we want to do here. I think what she'll do is she's going to head out into the icy waters. That's 2 movement points, picking up an investigation there. Then she'll spend 3 to go to the beach. And that'll be her 5 movement points. So she is at the beach. All right, Katarina is going to encounter the space. We have to start by drawing a village encounter card. And she draws 2 if by sea. Village encounter. Roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling event results, and place that minion at the icy waters. That minion then moves ashore. Roll randomly to determine which space it moves to. All right. So we're going to place a mosquito swarm at the icy waters. That's the only minion that the Bog Fiend has on his chart, so that's the only result we could get. Now we're going to randomly roll to determine where he moves ashore. So it'll either be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, and that will tell us where he's moving to. So we'll make the roll. Rolls a 5, so he's going to move ashore to the lighthouse. All right, now we'll finish up Katarina's turn at the beach. And she's going to use the Widow's Cottage to heal a wound. So we will get rid of that wound for Katarina. She's fully healed now. And I think she's going to play this card called Accusation. Play as an action to immediately gain 3 investigation for each other hero in your space. So Katarina will gain 3 investigation for Brother Marcus. That's going to move her up to a total of 8 investigation. And I think that's going to bring her turn to an end. We'll go on to Captain Hawkins, and he's KO'd. So Captain Hawkins is KO'd. He's at the town hall. He'll be standing up during the mystery phase, but he's going to lose his turn right now. So we'll move on to Brother Marcus. He is also at the beach with Katarina. All right, Brother Marcus is going to roll for movement. Rolls a 4, so he's got 4 movement points. And I think what he's going to do is we'll have him, he has 3 wounds on him right now, 3 out of his 4, so we need to get those healed up. We could linger at the beach, but then we're risking an attack there. So I think what we'll do is he'll move into the town square, and that'll be his movement for the turn. And then we will encounter the space, and we'll have to draw a village encounter card. And he draws the card, A Troubled Past, Village Encounter. The secrets of Tidewater's past are kept close by the people of the village, for none can escape the burden of their deeds. Make an honor 6+ test and gain 2 investigation for every 6+ rolled. For every 1 rolled, draw a mystery. Whoa. All right, Brother Marcus has a total honor of 3 + 1 for the Founder's Journal. He'll be rolling 4 dice for the test. Okay, here's the roll. We don't want any 1s. And we didn't get any. That's good. So that means he has 1 6. So he's going to gain 2 investigation. That is great. We'll give Brother Marcus 2 investigation. That moves him up to a total of 5. And now he's able to purchase some items at the shop. And I think he's going to purchase some exotic herbs. That's going to cost him 3 investigation. And that says discard any time except during a fight to heal 2 wounds. So I think he's going to do that right away. It was cheaper than having him spend that to heal. So by using the card, we can save. It only costs us 1.5 points per healing rather than 3. So we will heal 2 wounds. And that will bring Brother Marcus down to 1 wound out of his 4. So we'll do it that way. All right, that's going to complete Brother Marcus's turn. We'll move on to the mystery phase. All right, our first step on the mystery phase will be for KO'd heroes to recover. So Captain Hawkins will stand up at the town hall, and he is fully healed and ready for action. Next up is our mystery phase chart roll. Here's our 2d6 roll. The roll is a 2, and that is Surprise Showdown. You have stumbled into the villain's lair. Too late to turn back now, it knows you're here. Immediately draw a lair card and move every hero to that space. The showdown with the villain has begun. All heroes take part, but do not have to pay any investigation. No town elder hunting party is formed, and heroes may not use their character abilities during the first showdown fight round. The card effect of the layer card is used. If rolled in the competitive game, the result only affects the current first player. All right, so we're going to have to draw a layer card and see where this showdown is going to take place. I never rolled that, I don't think. So here we go. And it's going to take place at the Old Woods. All right, we'll get it set up for a showdown at the Old Woods with the Bog Fiend. All right, so our showdown layer card is Old Woods. If the villain is the werewolf, it gains +1 fight dice during the first showdown fight round. Well, that isn't the case, so we can get rid of that card. And now we will start the showdown beginning with the first player. First player is Carl the Soldier. Now we have a militia in the space, and we have to assign that to one of the characters. So I think we're going to assign that to, would make sense, to have that assigned with Captain Hawkins. He would lead the militia. So Carl is going to start first. The order will be Carl, then Katarina, and then Captain Hawkins, and finally Brother Marcus. That will be our turn order. And we'll begin with Carl the soldier. He has a combat value of 4. All right. Here's the roll. Carl has 3 hits. He managed to get 3 hits. So we'll put those out there by Carl, and then we'll have the Bog Fiend make his attack, and then we can maybe use some event cards. Now the Bog Fiend will strike. Now the Bog Fiend has a total of 6 combat, and he gets +3 for his evil elders. All right, I'm going to pull the camera back a little bit so we can see a little bit more in the frame. Now the villain has this evil elder of the dark gods, and his Shadow's puppet card says that while this evil elder is alive, move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness at the start of each showdown fight round. So that's going to move us down to 15. And in addition to the 6 combat and the 3 +1 combats from his evil elders, he also has a +2 health token. So his total health now will be 25, I believe. And that is correct. And I think what I'm going to do is place 25 health tokens on the Bog Fiend. And it might be easier for us to track it that way by removing his health rather than by adding it. All right, so I've given him 25 health tokens. Now the Bog Fiend is going to make his attack, and we'll see what happens. So his total attack will be 9. Now, Katarina was able to pick up a research item, and that's the Rotenone. That says, Rotenone can only be used once and it is discarded. It can only be used at the start of a showdown. It reduces the Bog Fiend's combat by 1 for the entire showdown. If the Bog Fiend survives the showdown, its combat level returns to its normal value. So they'll be rolling 8 dice. I think Carl is going to attempt to play this card called Redemption. That says choose an evil elder in play and roll a d6. On a roll of 3+, that evil elder is killed and immediately does 6 fight dice attack against the villain. So we're going to try that. We're going to make a roll, and hopefully we can get a 3 or greater. And we're going to end up taking out, I think, this Elder of the Dark Gods, which has that ability of moving the shadow track down. So let's see if we can get him. We rolled a 2. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'll tell you. Is there any re-rolls here? No, I don't have any. That is unfortunate. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so that card is wasted, and that is too bad. All right. Okay, so the Bog Fiend will be rolling 8 attack dice. And he ends up with 2 hits. So we're going to place 2 hits on Carl. And now we'll see if we can mitigate some of this with some cards. First thing we're going to do, I think, is we're going to play this tactical strike card for Carl. And that says, play on any hero, including yourself, to allow them to add their cunning to their combat for 1 fight round. So I think what we'll do is that's going to allow Carl to roll an extra 3 dice. That's his current cunning. So we'll put those 2 dice, or we've already got the 2 wounds marked there. I think what I'll do is just keep the 2 dice out, and we won't mark his wounds quite yet. All right, he's going to get an extra 3 dice to roll now, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, so here's Carl's extra 3 dice for cunning. And he ends up with 1 additional hit. All right, so we'll add that to our total of hits that we've got so far. We've got 4. All right. See if there's any other cards we can play. Well, this is another good one. It's called Teamwork. And that says play to gain +2 fight dice for each other hero in your space for a single attack. That's going to give us 6 extra fight dice. So we'll make that roll. All right, and for this roll, I'm going to be using the blue dice since this is additional fight dice. And he ends up with 3 additional hits. That is awesome. Let's put those out there. All right. See if we've got any other cards that we can use here. Well, not really. So now what we'll have is Carl's going to use his veteran ability. That means he can cancel the first hit done against him. So this is going to be our final total. Carl's going to take 1 wound, and the Bog Fiend is going to take a total of 7. So we're going to remove 7 points from the Bog Fiend. Take 10 out and give 3 back. All right, and Carl's going to take 1 wound. That will be one of his 3 wound boxes. All right, now we'll move on to Katarina the Outlaw. All right, now it is Katarina's turn. Now she is going to play the card Harpoon. And that says discard during a fight to immediately inflict an extra 4 fight dice attack against your opponent, or 8 fight dice if you are fighting a beast. Well, the Bog Fiend is a beast, so this card is going to be discarded, and she's going to get an extra 8 fight dice, so she'll be rolling a total of 10 fight dice. And I think we're going to just target, we can target some of the dice we can set aside to target the evil elders. So I don't know if we should target, maybe I'll spend 2 of them. So we'll have 8 dice, 8 red dice against the creature, and we'll spend 2 against this evil elder of the dark gods. So let's get those dice out and roll them. So I've got 2 blue dice in the pool, and those are going to be assigned to this evil elder of the dark gods. Here is the roll. All right, we have 1 cocked die. Still a cocked die. There we go. Okay, she has a total of, now she hits on 4s, 5s, and 6s. So she's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits against the creature, and we've got 2 6s on the blue dice, which are going to kill the Elder of the Dark Gods. That is fantastic. It's awesome. All right, let's get these dice out, and we'll place those on the side, and then we'll make the attack for the creature. All right, so we've got those hits applied. Now the creature will attack. It has a strength of 8. Rolling 8 dice. And it rolled a total of 3 hits. So we'll get those out. Actually 2 hits. 4 didn't count, that's only for Katarina. So it has a total of 2 hits. All right, so now we can apply the damage. And I think what we'll do is Katarina is going to use the card Duck and Roll. Play at any time to prevent up to 2 wounds to any hero, including yourself. So that's what we'll do. So those 2 wounds are removed. Now we'll make the combat effects to these characters. The two hits here are going to kill the evil Elder of the Dark God, so he's gone. And that also takes out that ability of him to move the shadow track every turn, which is great. And we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits against the creature. Now the creature has that ability called regeneration, so it's going to be healing D6 hits at the start of every round. We'll take out 6 wound markers. He's down to 12 right now. This is awesome. Okay, we'll clean up the dice, and we'll move on now to Captain Hawkins and his militia. All right, Captain Hawkins is going to play an event card, and he has the card, If I Could Just Reach. Take an item out of any discard pile, and he is going to take the harpoon that was discarded. He is going to throw the harpoon now at the creature, earning another 8 fight dice advantage. So he has a total attack now of 11. He's got 11 attack dice. And I think we're going to apply 2 dice to this militia soldier. So we'll use the blue dice for that. So 9 red dice and 2 blue dice, and we'll see what happens. Now, Captain Hawkins also gets +1 militia, so we'll give him an extra dice for that. He'll be rolling 10 red dice and 2 blue dice. Okay, here is his attack. All right, we have 1 cocked die. Let's roll that. Yeah, I don't think there's enough space in this dice tray. All right, we'll keep those out. He's done 1 hit to the evil militia soldier, and he's done 1, 2, 3, 4 hits to the creature. So we'll put those out, and then we'll roll 1 additional die. Okay, here's that cock die reroll, and that's a miss. Okay, so that's currently what we've got right now for Captain Hawkins and his militia. Now the creature has a total combat of 6, 7, 8 right now, -1 for the Rotnoan, so that's 7 dice. He lost 1 because of that elder that we killed. Okay, here's his 7 fight dice attack against Captain Hawkins. Whoops. Okay, we've got 1 cocked die. Actually, 2 cocked die. Okay, we'll re-roll those. So far they got 2 hits. And they've got a total of 3 hits. All right, so 3 hits are going to be applied to Captain Hawkins and the militia. All right. So now we'll apply the combat results. The Bog Fiend has done 3 hits to Captain Hawkins. So he's going to take 2 wounds to himself, and then he's going to apply the 1 wound to the militia, and he'll sacrifice the militia. So Captain Hawkins now has 2 wounds on him. The militia will be removed. And now we'll apply the effects of the attack. It's going to kill one of Bog Fiend's assistants. The militia soldier is gone now. And he's going to apply 4 hits to the creature. So we'll take a 5 out and put that down to a 1. He's down to 8 health. All right. Now we'll move on to Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus has the faithful ability. He can use his spirit instead of combat in a fight. Brother Marcus has a total spirit value of 6. So he can roll 6 dice. And I think we are going to apply all 6 to the creature. Okay, here is his roll. We got 1 cocked die. And he's done a total of 1 hit. Only 1 hit. All right. Now the creature will strike. Creature's attack now is down to 7. -1 is 6 for the Rotnoan. So 6 attack dice. Okay, here is the creature's attack on Brother Marcus. He's done 1 hit. All right, so we'll apply the damage. 1 more damage to the creature. And 1 more hit on Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus now is at 2 of his 4 health boxes filled up. That completes the first round of the showdown. Now, starting a second round, we can switch our items around if we choose to. I don't think there's any advantage to doing that. We'll keep it the way it is. The creature will be able to regenerate though. So it's going to get a D6 roll and reclaim that much health. Here we go. Rolled a 2. That's pretty good. We've got a good chance on taking this thing out maybe. So it's going to get 2 more health back. It's at 9. Now we'll begin with the next round with Carl. Carl is going to be rolling 4 dice. And I think we're just going to apply all of those to the creature. Okay, here's Carl's attack. He's rolled 1 hit. All right, I don't have any event cards left. Now the creature will strike. Creature is right now at a total combat of 6, 7, minus 1 for the rote known. So it'll be rolling 6 dice. Okay, here's the creature's attack on Carl. And unfortunately, it rolled a total of 3 hits. And that is enough to take Carl out. Carl is going to be killed. One more hit will go on the creature, so we'll remove one more. He's down to 8. And Carl is KO'd. All right. We'll move on to Katarina. And she's going to be rolling a total of only 2 combat dice. That's all she has. So she hits on a 4, 5, or 6, though. And I'm wondering if I should target that collector to try to get rid of that +1 combat. Maybe we will. We'll spend 1 dice on the collector and 1 dice on the Bog Fiend. Here's her attack roll. She's got a hit on the creature. Nothing on the collector. Now the Bog Fiend will attack. Stack die. No hits. All right, we got pretty lucky there. Katarina does 1 wound to the creature. It's down to 7. And we'll move on now to Captain Hawkins. Captain Hawkins has a combat value of 3. He already has 2 of his 3 wound boxes are filled, though, so he might not survive much longer. So he'll be rolling 3 dice for this attack. Now he has 2. He's got call to arms he can use. He could use that. He's going to do that. He'll spend his last 2 investigation to gain a militia token, and he'll bring that into the space, giving him an extra combat value. I think we'll do it that way. That makes sense. Plus an extra health box. So he'll be rolling a total of 4 combat dice. I think we'll apply all of these to the creature. Okay, here's the roll. And he's done, that's a cocked die. He's done 2 hits. All right. He's got 2 hits. Now the creature will strike. Creature has done 2 hits. So that's going to take out Captain Hawkins and the militia. He'll be KO'd and the militia is gone now. And now Brother Marcus steps to the forefront. Get rid of these dice. And Brother Marcus is going to use his strength of his faithful ability, and that's going to get him to use his spirit instead of his combat. He'll be rolling 6 dice for the attack. And we'll apply all of those to the creature. Brother Marcus has 2 hits. Let's get rid of these old dice. And he's got 2 hits on the creature. Now the creature will strike. Brother Marcus only has 2 wound boxes left. Creature has done 1 hit to him. So he's still alive. So the creature is going to lose 2 health. It's down to 5. Brother Marcus takes another wound. He's at 3 of his 4. And that completes the fight round. All right, the creature is going to use his rejuvenation or regeneration ability. He gets a d6 back of health. I hope it's low. We rolled a 3. That's pretty good. So the creature will reclaim 3 health. It's at 8. Plus 1 for the collector. All right. Well, this is going to be a close fight. Katarina is up next. She only has a combat value of 2, though, unfortunately. That's too bad. And I think what we'll do is do the same as we did last time. 1 die will be applied to the creature and the blue die to the collector. Here's the roll. She hits on a 4, 5, or 6. And she's got a 4 against the collector. So that's going to kill the collector. Now the creature will strike. And he's getting a total of 6 combat dice. Katarina has no wounds. And the creature did 4 hits to her. That's going to KO her. Nothing I can do about it. I don't have any event cards. So she's KO'd. The creature has lost the collector now. So it's down to a total combat of 5 and 8 health. Brother Marcus is up next. He's the last one. I don't think we're going to be able to win this. He's going to be rolling his spirit, so that's going to give him a total of 6 combat dice. And we'll start with that. He's got 3 hits. Okay, that's pretty good. And now the creature will strike. His attack now is 6 minus 1 for the Rotenone, so he'll be rolling 5 dice. Okay, here is the creature's attack on Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus only has 1 health box left. And that's going to be enough to do it. Yep, the creature's got a hit, and that's going to take out Brother Marcus, and we've lost the game. Wow, what a battle. And that harpoon came in really handy, and especially that combined with that card, If I Could Just Reach, we were able to use that twice. And what an excellent weapon that is against this Bog Fiend. So that's going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough against the Bog Fiend. So until next time, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening. Good night.